Hello and welcome everyone to our 71st session of Hello Casa. My name is Mike and today I'm talking to Viola Benasso from Ticino, Switzerland. Viola is real estate sales advisor at SIT Studio Immobiliare Ticino and has been operating in the Swiss real estate market based in Lugano since 2013. During that time, she has obtained a thorough knowledge of the local market. Her experience is complemented by several years of activity as a real estate agent in central Milano, where she has operated since 2008, and she has also created a network of collaborations with professionals in the sector that continues to feed her business also on the Swiss market. Viola, thank you so much for being on the show. You're the first person with whom I'm going to talk about Switzerland, especially the beautiful Lugano and the Ticino area. Why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Hello, Michael. Thank you for this opportunity and to be part of your program. I am a real estate agent, as you just said. I've been working in Milan since 2008 as a real estate agent, cooperating with some agencies in the center of Milan. And in 2013, I got married, and my husband was working in Lugano, so I decided to move here and to continue my activity in the new market. The market of Lugano and the market of Milan are very linked together because many people from Italy have moved in the years here. And for me, it's been very useful, my previous experience in Milan, because I created a strong network there, and that's turned out to be very useful. Um, After some years cooperating with some agencies here around, since 2017, I cooperate with SIT Immobiliare,
Mhm.
which is a big agency, as you maybe know, with offices in Lugano and Locarno.
Mhm.
Our core business is the brokerage, so we are real estate agents.
Mhm.
But in the years, we implemented different kind of services which are complementary to our activities.
Mhm.
Uh, we have seat design, which gives furniture and renovation for our properties. And then we have seat family offices, which for a legal assistant to our clients.
Mhm.
And then we have Seat Holidays, which is the brand new branch of the company, through which we give short-term rentals services.
Mhm.
Um, for this market, this is a very useful service because it's very useful for people living abroad and owning properties in Switzerland. Then I'll be back there later.
Awesome. Me personally, I love the Ticino area. Whenever I can, I travel down to from Zurich down to Ticino and experience the Italian lifestyle and also the Ticinese lifestyle in around Lugano, around Locarno. For the ones who don't know the area, the Locarno, Lugano area, also Bellinzona, can you give us an overview of its particularities and also general lifestyle over there?
Yes, you're perfectly right because we are fortunate living here because we have a wonderful territory with mountains, rivers, lakes, and this gives us the opportunity to live a lot of nature around us. And during summer and during winter, we have the opportunity in 45 minutes from Lugano to reach mountains and to ski, and during summer, we have the lake and we can go biking and hiking very easily. It's definitely an amazing region, and moreover, we are in Switzerland, so we can enjoy the safeness and the stability of this country.
Mhm. A little bit about real estate in that area. How would you describe real estate in the Ticino area, in the Italian-speaking part of Switzerland in general, and then also specifically in Lugano?
Okay. Um, Real estate has been boosting a lot in the past years. The prices grew a lot. Now we are in a stable in a stable timing. We have sorry, Michael. We are facing like a stableness of the demand,
Hmm.
and that's good because I think people living here really want to go on buying their dream house. So I think is that the market here is still very interesting for investments and for primary residence.
Hmm.
Um,
Is there,
I
if I may jump in on that one, is there around the area in Ticino, is there a certain concentration around the cities, or is it very also widespread that people who like to invest are
okay.
seeking
Oh,
rather like country houses or anything else? Like, what is more or less like investor like? What are they looking for? And also, what is maybe the clientele of investors who like to buy real estate?
yes, okay. Really, usually people want to buy what is close nearby the city, but that means that they don't like the traffic, for example.
Hmm.
So people is seeking for easily reaching their workplace. So there's not a general rule. We have different areas. Some areas maybe they are far away from the city, but not there's no traffic to reach the city, so it's they're still requested. In general, the nearby the city is the main point requested by the investors.
Hmm.
But it depends because we can have investors looking for uh, secondary residence. So if you go on vacation, you don't need to reach the city. So it's okay also to be in the nature and in a nice landscape.
Hmm. What is the type of investors and the main buyers? What are they like? Are those Swiss residents? Are those international buyers? Are they Italians from Milano? Who are those?
Yes, I think there's a mix of buyers.
Hmm.
We have Italians coming and moving generally here living because they are very nearby Italy, but they can enjoy the stability of Switzerland. And then we have people. The majority of our buyers are people living in Switzerland, and they are buying their first house or investment. And then we have a third category, which is the people from abroad who want to differentiate the investments,
Hmm.
and they want to buy something in the land of Switzerland. And in this case, it's it's a good idea. I think it's very intelligent to invest in Switzerland because it's a stable market. And in this case, we have, of course, some restrictions. If I want, if you want, I can explain.
Absolutely, yeah. Because
Okay.
I heard that it's I thought that you need a residence visa in order to buy, but you will now tell me exactly what the restrictions and also the possibilities for international investors to buy in Switzerland. Please go ahead.
Yes. Okay. Of course, territory in Switzerland is small, so government doesn't want speculation from abroad on the real estate market. That's why they implemented several rules to regulate the buyers from abroad. But as a foreigners, you can buy, of course, a property in Switzerland. You can buy a residential property, not more than 200 square meters, livable surface.
Hmm.
Then each community has a percentage, maximum 20% percentage of secondary houses to be defined as secondary houses. And then you have the third another and you cannot you have a limitation for the time of rent. You can rent only maximum 10 months per year. That means that you're oriented to short-term rentals if you want to an income from your property. That's why, and the reason why we implemented the SIT holiday service, which gives the opportunity to buy to owners from abroad to have people, professionals as us, on in the territory who are dealing with their properties the whole year, uh, taking care of check-ins and check-out of tourists or people,
Okay. I
guests, various guests.
so let me break that down. The first thing you mentioned is the secondary home of 20%. What does it exactly mean? Does it mean that within the community? Because we also, maybe for the audience, it's important to understand that Switzerland is very locally regulated, or is
Yes,
administered very, very locally. So we have the cantons and we have the municipalities, and then also we have the local community. And on the local community, as per city and small community, there needs to be a certain percentage of houses need to be still on the market or allocated to local residents of 20%, or what does it exactly mean?
it means that it can be the community gives a maximum of 20% of residences that can be destined to foreigners, not
Okay,
residents.
got it.
Okay, that's it. And actually, it can be also that some communities have 90% residents and 10%
Okay.
secondary. Okay,
And
it
okay,
depends on the
by
community.
okay, by secondary you mean people who don't live there, or how do you define the
Yes,
non-residents?
people
Okay,
not resident,
okay,
not resident,
got
and
it.
not resident in Switzerland abroad.
Okay, not or not resident,
Okay.
not residents in the local community. Just to make sure that I get that correctly.
Not in the yeah. They don't have to be resident in Switzerland, neither in the community.
Okay, got
Okay.
it. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Understand. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Now it makes sense to
Okay.
me because we have in Switzerland, those communities like St. Moritz or Davos, where there are a lot of
Yes.
people from abroad. And in fact, that's why the rental or the real estate prices have skyrocketed so much, because there's so many people from abroad. And I think like we are already on the 20%. We're scratching the 20%. So that's why
Yes.
every person who would like to invest there needs to make sure or needs to wait until another foreigner has sold, correct?
Yes.
Oh,
Exactly. It's very important to be followed by a professional who verifies that specific property can be sold to a foreigners.
we are now getting exactly, that's a very good segue what you just mentioned. Now me being a foreigner and having the plan to buy, can you walk us
Hmm?
through the process and through the steps, and also the
Okay.
potential obstacles I have to make sure to overcome in order to buy properly?
Okay. Of course, if I follow you, I will show you, of course, some properties asking you which is your budget desired, which are the features desired of your ideal property, and of course, the purpose for which you're buying. Then we will visit some properties, and then once we identify the right one, we make the so-called reservation. The reservation contract is a contract through which you stop the sale of that property at a specific price, because you say, I am interested, I want to buy the property,
Mhm.
and I just give me the time to go to the bank and to fix the date with the notary, and we go directly to the sale. Of course, that means around usually 15 days we give to the interested people, and then after that date we go to the notary, which is the official part, because we have a legal act through which you can choose the direct passage of property. So
Mhm.
it's the atto notarile called here in Ticino. Um, Otherwise, if the property is under construction, you can make the diritto di compra is called. So it means that you're gonna give a sum, usually is the 20%, and when the building will be finished and the apartment can be delivered, you give the amount, the 80% left.
Okay. And the first process of more or less like reserving it, how much costs are there involved to make sure that you are taking that property off the market?
Okay. I usually it depends on the value of the property. There is a minimum of 15,000 francs, Swiss francs,
Mhm.
but it's very important to explain to the audience that that money will be on our agency account.
Mhm.
It will not be given. No money here in Switzerland will be given to the seller until when you become a real owner.
Mhm.
So everything when you make the reservation contract, the money the money transfer will be on our agency account, and then when we are gonna do the final act with the notary will collect all the funds for the sale,
Mhm.
and then once the passage of the property is done, is finished, you will make the payments to the seller. That's a safe procedure. That's very important to specify here in Switzerland.
Okay, perfect. Is there anything else or anyone else except for the broker and the notary involved normally in the process when buying properties, real estate in Switzerland?
Yes, okay. The banks, of course,
Hmm.
because in Switzerland it's very common to buy with banks. Always, almost always, the banks they can contribute to a maximum of 80% of the investment of the value of the property. And usually, we, as a real estate agents, we must give all the information of the property to the bank. And once it's not a rule, but often they come to visit the property, and they must evaluate it to verify that the value is the right one.
Okay. How many transaction costs and a percentage do I normally more or less like have to budget when I consider to buy real estate in Switzerland? Is it 10%, 15% on only the transaction costs?
The cost of the transaction.
Yeah, entirely, exactly, for everything.
Okay, I always say that the complete cost of the transaction for a real estate here, it's around 2% of the value, because you have the notary,
Mhm.
which is almost, it depends, there's no rule, almost 1%, and then you have another 1.1% of taxes. So around 2%
Okay.
on the value of the property.
Plus the agent cost, I assume.
Yes, agency cost is charged by, it's paid by the seller. So
Ah,
if you
okay.
buy a property here, you won't pay any fee agency.
Okay. Good to know. Okay.
Hmm? That's a good news.
Yes, it is. Talking a little bit about the prices in Ticino and also maybe the development. Whenever I go and travel around Switzerland, I'm actually myself quite impressed by the construction. A lot of cranes, a lot of construction
Mm.
going on across Switzerland. Um, how has been the development of real estate and also real estate prices in Ticino?
Okay, the development is stable of prices because we have been growing for a long time. Now I think we are stable. The There are many, as you mentioned here, there are many new buildings, so that's really makes possible to have a wide range of offer in the the new buildings. But I really believe that in the real estate in the real estate field now the most interesting business opportunities are in the old buildings in good locations. That's
Okay.
a different view, I
Mhm.
think. But I could verify that it works. I mean, if we in Ticino we don't have any land left in good locations. So as you might see when you come to Ticino, the new developments are often not in a good locations. Uh, um, the ones in good location are very, very expensive. So now I think the great challenge will be to make people understand they can renovate old buildings and they can obtain very good businesses at the right prices.
Mhm.
I have some example,
Yeah,
then I explain you later.
I was about to ask you for some examples, but also price overview. What can I, for example, let's say for two bedroom apartment in the city center of Lugano, something like that, or anything else you have maybe an example of a cost
Yes.
example so that we have an idea of what we can expect.
Okay. Okay, around I would say in a nice area, well connected, in a nice area nearby the center, not in the center because in the center the prices are higher. But we can have 700,000 francs, Swiss francs, for a two bedrooms apartment,
Hmm.
and we can have 500,000 Swiss francs for a one bedroom apartment,
Hmm.
and up to for a three bedroom apartment.
Okay. How about on that respect? How about in comparison the rental prices? If I say I would like to, and then also coming to maybe return on investment on that real estate, how much can I expect for, let's say, 500,000 in ROI or also in monthly rental prices when I say I'm an international investor and I would like to invest in Lugano?
Okay, that we can then go back to the most opportunity of the old buildings,
Yeah.
because in fact, as a matter of fact, the uh, the opportunities in the new buildings, of course, we pay, the prices are high,
Hmm.
and we can have like a maximum 2.5% revenue on the on the investment
Hmm.
on on a new apartment.
Hmm.
Uh, on an old apartment, we pay it less, and we can have a better revenue.
Hmm.
That's why I really trust that now with prices which are high in the new, now we can have better revenues on old buildings, because we can have the same rentals if we renovate interiors,
Hmm.
um, and with the better revenue on on the investment.
How far can I go there, or is it possible as per ROI on a yearly basis? You said for the new ones maybe 2.5%, maybe on the old ones we can go up to 3, 4.
Yes, okay. It depends on the kind of investment you're doing, because if you're buying the single property, of course, the single apartment, it will be harder. You can make better business if you buy a whole building,
Mhm.
and then you can pay the whole building. You will pay it less per square meter, so you can reach the 4%. That's what the percentage investors are asking today. The minimum in return on investment is 4%.
Got it. Perfect. Um, Talking a little bit about your business, about all the services. You gave us an overview in the very beginning, all the services you're doing. Also, especially from my perspective, very interesting on the rental part, because you also make the, the administration of the rentals. What is it exactly you're offering? Give us an overview there, and walk us a little bit through.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Our core business, as I told you before, is the real estate brokerage. We are 10 real estate agents, and we divided in two teams, rentals and sales. That's our core business. Then we developed the renovation and furniture division, which is the SIT design, and that's complementary with our business, because often when we have to sell property needing a deep renovation, that's very useful to cooperate with the colleagues. And the part you mentioned before, the holidays, SIT holidays,
Mhm.
it's the brand new branch in which I live a lot, because we don't have anything similar in Lugano. It's a company dealing only with for short-term rentals. That means if there is an owner that who has an apartment in Lugano, with lake view, is using it maybe 1 week per year, he can have an income from that property.
Mhm.
And it's very important, because for people living abroad, because they cannot rent it for more than 10 months per year. So that's why they have to orientate their investment to short-term rental. So our all holidays division is taking care of all the process. So if needed, we can furnish the apartment, giving sheets, dishes, and all the necessary to make the apartment ready for to be rented. And then we publish it on the websites like Airbnb and Booking.com, and all the main websites. And we take care of everything: the check-ins, the check-outs, and our payment is a percentage of the income revenue.
Okay. So, first question I have, I would like to understand the 10-month regulation. That means
Yes.
you mentioned that before. That means that I can only rent it out for 10 months. Me as a landlord can only rent it out for no longer than 10 months a year.
If you're in a foreigner residence, yes, that's it. Because that's a rule, regulation that the Swiss government wants to put over the secondary houses to avoid the speculation over real estate properties. So
And if
that's
I
uh, that's
and
exact.
and if I go via you, this 10 months rule still applies or does not apply anymore?
If I go, no, 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 it
If
applies. It
it
applies
still
because
applies, okay.
you. Yes, yes, of course, of course.
No,
But that's
it could
useful
have
because
been it could have been that you then are officially the owner of the real
no,
estate.
no.
Okay, I understand. And then you are helping me as a landlord to rent it out on a daily basis on Airbnb. Um,
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. Because I have another question, because I was not really sure about the regulation of Airbnb in Switzerland. I Because for me it's always very surprising that there are not that many listings of Airbnbs in Switzerland in general. Or am I wrong?
That's true, but I think just because it's connected to the fact that I was talking before, there are no companies giving this service in Italy. Or it's full of this kind of companies, for
Mhm.
example, and people, the Airbnb, it's full of proposals. And here maybe the single person who lives in Brazil doesn't really know how to deal the touristic, how to take care of the touristic rental of
Mhm.
this apartment. So it's a I believe it's a good and innovative service. Maybe we can organize another interview with the responsible of this holidays.
No, absolutely, because it is super
Uh,
interesting to have someone because you are also then mentioning the SIT holidays concerning the management of the entire property, even though I didn't buy it. So it's like, okay, I have an existing property, I have something in Lugano. Can you now take care of that? And it was not bought, or it was not bought via you. It was just bought, previously.
no, no, no. It's
Perfect. Okay. Um,
okay.
Concerning the entire real estate process, what do you think should people take care of and should really be cautious about when it comes to buying properties and real estate in Lugano?
Uh, I think they should be conscious that they must trust somebody on the market
Hmm.
can give real advice from a global point of view, not only the single property, but what that kind of how that property fits on the market, and according to the needs of the client, can give the perfect solution for them. So I think trusting a professional, I would really suggest it if you
Hmm.
come from abroad, as I would do if I should buy somewhere else.
Absolutely. You yourself, you are bilingual, so people who are interested, who speak Italian, who speak English, they can directly reach out to you and say, "Hey, this interview really caught my eye.
Of
It's
course.
it's it's super interesting to consider this market because I have the financial funds, I have the money, and I would like to invest in Lugano." How can people reach out to you?
Okay, I am very social, so you can find me on the LinkedIn. You can find me. I can maybe you can contact me, or I can give your email, my email, if you want. Contact me LinkedIn. I would say through LinkedIn.
Perfect, great. Viola, I learned a lot today. You gave me a lot of information concerning Switzerland, concerning the real estate market, concerning also the regulation in Switzerland. I was not aware exactly of the fact that it's a percentage based on the community and that it's actually there's no obstacle to buy as a foreigner. I always thought that you need like a residence permit in order to be eligible to buy. You also gave us a great overview of the Lugano real estate market and also what we can expect on real estate prices when we buy and consider buying in Ticino. You also taught us how much of transaction costs we will face when we buy, and also that we don't have to buy the agent fees when we buy, only when we sell. You also gave us a very interesting overview of your business itself, that you're not only doing the transaction of real estate purchases, but also the entire management afterwards. And even if you didn't buy via you previously, people can reach out to you to make sure that they get the necessary help by you when it comes to managing the property and renting it out to short-term rentals. It was super interesting, and I really appreciate the insights you gave us. Um, I don't know, like for me, it was a very insightful interview, and I really appreciate the time.
Thank you, Michael. It's been a pleasure for me too, and thanks a lot for the opportunity you gave to me.
Thank you, Viola. We talk soon, and have a nice evening.
You too. Bye, bye,
Thank you.
Michael.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye, bye.